Call now for the 2010 Steiner Tractor Parts Catalog, featuring the largest selection of new aftermarket parts for your antique or classic tractor. With 45,000 square feet, Steiner Tractor Parts makes every effort to have your parts in stock. Call 800-234-3280 or visit steinertractor.com.
On this Tractor Fanatic Webisode, we'll visit Antique Power Days in Salem, Illinois, and we'll meet David Hester, a big International Harvester fan, and see his impressive collection of IH tractors that range from the 40s to the early 70s.
We're here with Keith, and he is the president of the Southern Illinois Antique Power Club. And you're having your 20th anniversary event here, right?
Correct.
Tell us about it.
Well, it started several years ago, a little over 20 years ago. There were several people that had old tractors, and they kind of wanted to get together and to fellowship and just get their toys out and play with them. And so they had a meeting, chartered a club the very first night we met. And it's kind of just went from there, you know. The first shows are pretty sparse, but they've grown steadily over the years, and we're very proud of what our club has done.
Now you're telling me you're expecting hopefully 400 tractors
Correct.
Here this weekend, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as of last night at 11 o'clock, we had 275 in.
And that was Thursday night, so
right.
We're way early into this already.
The show doesn't really start till today.
Absolutely.
And there's been a lot of tractors come in today. I have no idea how many.
And you're featuring a couple of makes this time,
We're
right?
featuring International and John Deere. And really because that's most of the tractors we get at the show most of the time, because they were more prevalent in our area here than some of the rest of them. We have other tractors too. Now next year, we're going to feature Minneapolis Moline.
Now, how is the hobby doing? Is there more interest in getting the old
There's
tractor?
more interest all the time. You know, when we first started playing with tractors, you could find one sitting in a fence row someplace, or maybe in somebody's barn that had been there for 30 years. Well, that's not as prevalent as it used to be. You kind of have to look a little more, you know.
Because people are grabbing them and restoring
People are grabbing them, and it's a nice hobby. My dad and I started out, you know. It was a nice deal for us to work together, and we really enjoyed it.
Now, do you have people coming from long distances?
Yeah, there's some people here from Tennessee.
Really?
And Indiana. Maybe there's some from Missouri. I'm really not sure. People haven't got all their tags on their tractors, you know. And there's a lot of people here I really don't know, but I'm tickled they're here.
So you get some new faces.
You bet.
Year.
Are you interested in old lawn and garden tractors? Lawn and Garden Collector magazine features collections of all types of vintage lawn and garden tractors and equipment. There are two ways to subscribe. Call us at 866-378-2954 or visit us online at antiquetractormagazine.com. Get your subscription today.
The show field at Antique Power Days was filled with a good mix of makes and models, and there were a lot of International Harvester tractors on hand. Of course, IH was one of the featured makes at this event.
Now, there are International Harvester owners and there are International Harvester owners who have some serious tractors. And David Hester, you're one of those people. How many tractors do you have at this show?
We have 11 here.
11 tractors. If you look down the row, it's about as far as I can see. All I see is red and white and International Harvester. So we're going to walk along here, David, and maybe you can tell me a little bit, first of all, how you got this sickness. Is it kind of a sickness, or is it? Well, it's a lot of fun, obviously.
It grows on you. It grows on you. And yeah, I guess you'd call it a sickness, but
it's fun, isn't it?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Now let's start right here because we've got an H right in front of us.
This is an H, and it's one of the early ones, like in the 40s, 47, I think this one is here.
And this is a very popular tractor for
This
farmall,
is one of the very early popular rubber-tired tractors, yes.
And then up here is the Super M, and
The next one is a Super M, which happens to be a 52, and this one was originally my dad's, And
so this is a family tractor.
It was our family tractor.
And this is the high horsepower version.
Yes, it was back in those days. That was real popular.
Do you remember how much horsepower that was advertised at?
I think they're about 47.
About 47, yeah, that seems right.
This one here is a 706. Usually in the series of those, of the Internationals, that's close to 65 horsepower tractor.
So you can see the difference in the
Yes.
about 10-year span there.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is a 65, 656, and it's still in the gas series in those years. They were the most popular back in that time period.
Right.
And then they start making the switch after that part of it to the diesels.
Right.
And the this one happens to be a 966.
What's the horsepower on something like that?
This one is in that 90 to 100 horse.
Wow.
And they just keep improving.
So we're getting near 100 horsepower now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
and then we keep going.
Keep
As
going.
if your collection wasn't good enough right there.
Yeah.
We keep going, and we've got another 72.
And then
1066.
1066 is in the vicinity of 110.
And it's a turbo version.
And it is a turbo diesel.
Then we go to a 1466.
1466 is still in the 75, 72 range. That just increases in horsepower again. It happens to be one of those that we'd totally restored
Now,
again.
as we go along here, David, I'm really picking up that you like these 70s IHs.
Yes.
Is there some
Yes.
reason for that, as opposed to the older and more antique?
Okay. The basically 66 series, 66 series is the early versions.
Okay.
And that is what they call the white with the red. Then the later versions is the black stripes.
Okay. And the last two tractors here, the one big difference I notice here is the V8 in here.
This is something different and real unique. The 1468 is another V8 that's International developed the engine. It's a 550 cubic inch, and they put two of these in series of tractors. There was 2,800 in some of these made.
Wow.
Then yes, it's this one happens to be a it's not turboed or anything like that.
And this is a diesel, right?
And it is a diesel.
Collectible? Everybody after them now? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
You've got a couple of them right here.
Yes.
Now, is this the entire fleet?
No. No.
No, wait a minute. You're sicker than I thought.
Yeah.
How sick are you?
Real sick.
How many more do we have?
I don't know.
I mean, dozen more?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 20, 25 tractors.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they're all IH?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Wow. So you've got the red fever.
Well, pretty much, Lee. Yeah, pretty much, Lee. Now the 1568.
Yeah. Let's go on. Let's finish talking about this one.
The
up here,
1568, that also is a 74. There is 800 in some of those made.
Okay.
They are really harder to come by.
Where did you get this one?
That so happens this one come out of Canada.
So I mean, when you get the fever again, are you specifically looking for a certain tractor and you start shopping the trades? Is that
Pretty
what you do?
well.
Yeah.
Pretty well. You know, I only got one that I don't have in these series,
I got
766.
Gotcha.
And a 666, but they're really kind of
hard,
rare,
even harder to find. But you
yes.
still got your eye on them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
So if anybody out there has one, contact David.
Yeah.
Because he's really got the disease here.
Yeah.
But, hey, this is a great collection, and it's thrilled, and to be able to see the series over the years, that's the most interesting part to me. I really appreciate you talking to us, Dave.
Very much.
Thanks.
In our next webisode, we'll have more from Antique Power Days as we get an up-close look at the 1928 Minneapolis, and we'll learn how farmers use a dyno to dial in the horsepower of their tractors.